Hello everyone and welcome back to the Jason Flood Digital Marketing Show. Today I'm joined by Cecelia Moran, the founder of Wellness With Cecelia, based in Newbridge, County Kildare. Cecelia's journey into wellness is an inspiring one, from her background as a fitness instructor, beauty therapist and 8 years as a social care worker. She's developed a deep understanding of the mind, body and spirit connection. Through Wellness With Cecelia, she offers yoga, breathwork, massages, workshop and Reiki energy healings, all designed to help people reconnect, release and restore balance in their lives. She runs her classes out of Balanced Bodies in Newbridge, and you can check out her website at wellnesswithcecelia.ie in the description below. It was a site I created on Shopify and she ranked very, very highly on page 1 on Google for many of her keywords. You will also find links to Cecelia's social media in the descriptions below. So, let's get into it. So, Cecelia, how are you?
I'm good, thanks Jason. It's good to be here.
Yeah, I'm delighted to have you on. And Cecelia is also part of my local business group, so we meet regularly for coffee and talk business. I've been able to get a lot of great advice from my business from Cecelia, and I've been able to pass on great digital marketing advice onto her for her business. I encourage you all to follow her Wellness With Cecelia. So I just want to learn a bit more about you and the business. So I guess tell me a little bit about yourself for people who may not be aware of you, and of course your business.
Okay, so I'm from Newbridge and I have a lot of experience in the wellness industry. I worked as a fitness instructor in my late 20s and then went on into beauty work. I was a beautician, a swimming teacher and so on. And then I went into teaching, social care, then teaching. I have a very broad background, but at the moment I'm in teaching in adult education and I have a wellness business that I run. I teach yoga classes. I do massage and Reiki and breathwork. And yeah, so it's a pretty good mix. It all relates to each other, really.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Did you feel like your background in education, they all kind of meshed in together where it would have improved the wellness services that you offer?
Yeah, definitely, because as a teacher, because you're interacting with people all the time, and it gives you so many more skills, and vice versa. They bounce off each other, because when you're doing workshops and things like that, you have a better way of preparing and communicating it to people. From the teaching background, and yeah, definitely they bounce off each other. Yeah.
And I think you do a great job of that, because you bring a very personalised approach, in my opinion, to what you offer. And I can speak from my own personal experience. I do breathwork with Cecelia every month. Now, I wouldn't say I was sceptical of it. I'd never done anything like that before. I did 2 sessions with Cecelia. I'm looking forward to the next one. The first session, since I do weightlifting, my body kind of was more relaxed, and that was kind of the effects I felt, more so than the mental effects. And then the second, my brain just completely went off into a completely different direction. And it was a real, I think you'll even agree because we spoke after, Cecelia, it was a real kind of, would you say, like a bit of an awakening kind of thing, where I would.
Yeah, and that happens quite a bit, and some people get a little bit frightened of it because you're going deep into the subconscious with breath work. It's belly breathing and through the mouth breath work. So you're going into the subconscious, and the whole science of it will tell you that you're actually removing so much oxygen from the body. Your body's turning to like alkaline, and you go really deep into the subconscious. And what's happening is that you're connecting with almost your soul purpose and what it is that you really want to achieve in your life. And it does frighten some people, and some weird stuff comes up, but it all has meaning. I'm always advising people to, journal after a session, to ground yourself, go out into nature and walk in the grass barefoot, and But yeah, I do remember that session, and it was quite intense and even hard to explain. I remember you found it difficult to explain. So I just said, try writing it down, and, we can pull it apart then afterwards. Because I'm always there after a session as well if anybody needs to contact me, for the aftercare and for the integration of it.
Yeah, I really loved that personal approach that you had, where you spoke with me and you said, well, let's break this down. What's this mean? What's that mean? You were able to explain it all to me. And I really think when it comes to breath work, it's really something you should be doing with a trained professional like yourself, because if you were to do that on your own, I definitely think there'd be it could go very wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in saying that. I think you could end up, really, really, I don't know how you'd put it, kind of disturbed a little bit.
Yeah, you could have a traumatic experience if you're not with a trained professional. And I mean, lots of people are doing it. They're doing online sessions, but there's no control there. There's no one to pick up the pieces afterwards to explain to you what's going on in your body, because it's your body that is having the experience. It's I don't know if you've ever read the book The Body Keeps the Score, and this is what happens. You're releasing deep trauma from the body, and it may be things that you didn't even think were there, stuck in your body. So if you were doing that by yourself, an online session on YouTube or whatever, and you could be you go into a deep state, and then you're left to deal with that on your own, and even you need to be brought out of it as well, very gently and professionally as well. So it is a bit of a risk to take it on your own and to do that by yourself through YouTube video or so on, you know what I mean, unless you're trained in it, of course.
But the benefits are amazing, because like I always talk about this, and you'd know from my meetings, from a business perspective, it's one thing doing the job, what you have to do when you're running your business. You have to run your business, of course, but the other part of it people neglect is stress management. I know for a fact that if I didn't train the way I train, I didn't eat good, I didn't go to you for the breath work, if I don't do all those cold water therapies, another thing I want to know to people as well. Cold water therapy is amazing. But if I don't do all those things, I know my quality of work will suffer. I know I won't be as productive as I am currently. So I think that even from a stress management perspective, after it I was very freaked out, but then I felt much better the next day, just having done the breathing, the controlled breathing. And we forget that, it's like, take a deep breath. It's like the old expression, and it really is hugely powerful if done correctly with someone like yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all these little self-care things that we need to be doing are so important. And like that, if I don't go and do the gym, or any sort of release, even just walking in nature, things like that, to bring myself back into balance. You can't just work 24 hours and not allow your brain to release, the endorphins that are released when you exercise and things like when you do self-care. And with breathwork, it's about releasing, and you do feel a whole lot lighter after a breathwork session. And I even took one last Sunday myself within a training in Dublin in the yoga hub, and I needed it. And even I'm always surprised. I do one a month at least for myself, and I'm still surprised that every time it's a different experience, and it's something else that's coming up that maybe I didn't even realise was, there in the back of my mind, in the subconscious. So it's so important to do these little self-care routines. We really do need them. And even just to take, like you said there, taking a deep breath, I would always say to people, because people will say, I've no time, this kind of thing. And I would say, just find yourself a spot, or even at your desk or wherever you are, and just sit and put your hands on your tummy and your chest, and just take a few breaths and lengthen and deepen the breaths. And you'll find straight away, after 3 long deep breaths, it will bring you back to balance.
That's a great tip. And I mean, everybody, no matter how busy you are, if you're a small business, a medium-sized business, a large business, a corporation, everyone has 5 to 10 minutes a day to just put aside for their mental health. So I 100% agree with everything you say, and like, it's something I learnt in Spain last year, that like, as I travel with my business last year, I was like, oh my god, you know, I need to kind of start to do stuff here, you know, I need to look into the breathwork, did it with you, I need to look into the training, do it in the gym, the cold water therapy. These are things you need to do, just to keep steady, I guess, is the main point. But you also offer yoga, the massage. Explain to me a little bit about those services, just in a bit more detail, so we're not just strictly talking about breathwork, because you offer so much more. I believe you really do offer the full package when it comes to wellness, because of your background.
Yeah, as I say, I trained in massage many years ago, and Reiki's an energy healing treatment, and very popular at the moment. A lot of people get a lot of release from that too. Massage, I do deep tissue or relaxation massage. I did train as well in Indian head massage, so I used that during the treatment. And as a beautician, I would have done, you know, facials and body treatments. So I bring a lot into my massages, not just one thing. You're going away feeling completely relaxed, and it just brings you back into balance. Yoga, I teach yoga classes twice a week in Balanced Bodies in Newbridge. I do a Thursday evening, 7:15, and a Saturday morning at 8:30. And it's become a little community almost, especially on the Saturday mornings. We go for breakfast afterwards. So it's not just about, you know, going in and doing a session. You also have a little community built up there if you know, feel the need to gain from that as well. So yeah, there's a good range there. And what I would say to people is try not to overwhelm yourself. Like, we're being told all the time on social media, we should be doing this, we should be doing that, we should be doing, you know, where I would say just even start off very slowly. Bring in, if it's one yoga class a week, and, you know, maybe doing one breath work a month, something like that, or like that, even 10 minutes a day, like you said, just taking that time. And using it for your own little bit of self-care, because if we try to do too much, we won't fit it in, you know, it won't become a good habit.
And you mentioned social media, and I think you do a great job in social media. As I said in the beginning, I designed Cecelia's website, so to find out more about Cecelia and the services she offers, you mentioned Balanced Bodies, which is in Newbridge, fantastic studio, and that's where you do your classes, but you also do one-to-one sessions.
Yeah.
And you're also going to be doing corporate workshops. But for people who want to get in touch with you to learn about your services, they can go to wellnesswithcecelia.ie, and they can also email you at yogawithcecelia@gmail.com. So I just wanted to make those 2 points. But in terms of social media, Cecelia, then I want to speak to you a little bit about your website. Your social media, what I love about what you do is that you're all about community building, really. Whereas a lot of people are promotional, and that's one thing I looked at what you were doing, and I really liked it, that you've built the WhatsApp groups, you've done all these things, and you've done all these things before they've become kind of common knowledge. You were just naturally doing them. So in terms of your social media, and in terms of even the community building aspect of it, what would you say has been the most positive for your business in terms of the impact from that end? What has helped your business the most?
Yeah, it's actually nice to hear all that, because I do forget sometimes what I'm after doing. You know, the way you forget all the work you're after putting in. And even though it's something I love, I don't feel like it's work, and I don't feel like it is work, because it's something I really enjoy. But I would definitely say, having done the website, that was the second time I had my website done, and this time round, I have to say, it just does its own thing. I don't have to do anything with it. I've got a lot of clients from Google that just went in, you know, I had a lady come to me and she said her sister's in America, and because she wasn't good herself, that this lady here in Ireland wasn't good herself on looking for what she needed. Her sister looked up services in Newbridge and found me, you know,
Amazing.
for Reiki and yoga and so on. And I couldn't believe it when she said her sister in America found me.
You
Do you
didn't
know, I
even
was
tell
like,
me that,
what?
and I designed the bloody website. I wish you would have
Yeah.
told me that. This is my first time hearing this.
Sorry about that. I meant to say it. That's what I'm saying. It's great to be reminded and have these little chats, because you do forget. And at times, it becomes very overwhelming running your own business and trying to keep everything updated. And I'm looking at other people online and they're doing this and they're doing that. And I'm like, I just can't. How can they juggle all these balls? But like that, yeah, I'm more community based. But I have to say, getting the website done was one of the biggest things. And it works for itself, and it has the payment system within it, so people can just go in and book themselves in, you know, without me having to do anything. It just pays for itself. So that, I have to say, thanks to you, Jason, you've done an amazing job. And it's not just about building the website. It was also about the aftercare. You're always there, never, you know, never extra payments. I had to go through this before. I was paying extra for even just little jobs, whereas you're always there to help with the little things. I'm never stuck. Never stuck. That's one thing I will say, that you're, you know, amazing at what you do. And I just couldn't have imagined how well it's running for me, you know.
And
Yeah.
that's like a few points I want to bring, because Cecelia is booked in the next few minutes, so it's hard to get Cecelia because she's so busy. So I was delighted to have you on. I was very, very lucky to get you on the time I did.
Yeah.
But what you said there is very, very important. I remember when I first spoke with Cecelia, I told her, and you can even verify this, I said, anybody can create a beautiful website, but if you can't use it after it's been handed over, it's no good to you.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, you could have a digital marketer, and I'm not knocking these digital marketers,
No.
but they could
No.
design a website that's very, very complex, and then when you're handing it over to the business owner, they can't use it, so then they have to contact the digital marketer to get them to do this, that or the other, which is very, very straightforward stuff. And then the fees stack up, and it just becomes a nightmare. And I really appreciate what you said there in terms of the aftercare, because that's something I pride myself on. In terms of, you know, it's funny, all my clients laugh, but if I'm doing something small, I don't even want to send you an invoice. I'm too lazy to do the paperwork. I don't particularly want, if I'm doing something simple for you,
Yeah.
because Cecelia has a booking page mechanism through her website. Her website is very automated. It's very SEO optimized. It's done on Shopify. I recommend everyone check it out. And as well as that, in the description, I have a link to Cecilia's website, but I also have a link that you can purchase Shopify yourself. It really, really is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's
And then,
very functional. But the thing about your website is it's very automated, so it works itself.
yeah, yeah. And then the videos that you did as well. Like, there's times I might go on and I need to add something in to my website, an extra treatment or something like that, or an event. And there might be something that I forget, and I'll go and watch the video again. So the video is there. And then if I'm still stuck like that, you know, something last week, you were there on the ball straight away. I didn't have to wait around. You just did it, you know.
Oh, I did when I came home from Wexford. I remember that
Which,
actually, and I was
which
off that day.
I know, and that's why I felt so bad. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you're there. It's straight away. I'm never having to wait.
I'm
You know.
always there to help wherever I can, and you know, like, it's been amazing to see how much you've progressed in terms of your career, in terms of online, and the amazing things you're doing. And even as I said, Cecilia's in my business group. So if you're based in Kildare and you want to join it, let me know. I can send you a link. But I know about the exciting projects you have coming up, all the positive energy surrounding your business. And I think, as well as that, when it comes to you, Cecelia, it's your personality that really drives it and pushes it. Because I remember, I'll be honest with you, and I hope I don't appear like a snob when I say this, but when I first started my business, I thought my main value proposition would be the fact I have a master's degree in digital marketing.
Yeah.
because so many of digital marketers, a lot would just learn online, really. And it's very easy to enter this field. If you have internet connection and a laptop, you can set up a digital marketing agency, really.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be the main point. Look, I actually know what I'm doing. I have years of experience, but it really wasn't. It was just people speaking to me on the phone and getting a good feel for me just by speaking with me. And I can say the same about you. The first time I spoke, I said very, very above board, very, very professional, and very, very easy to work with. And that was the key to the success of your website. And that collaboration, you know, it takes two to tango. So it was amazing to build up your site. And that news from the SEO perspective was amazing as well. What I love about your website is that we did custom made graphic design. So for example, we have gift vouchers on Cecelia's website, but it looks like someone is actually opening the gift voucher from an envelope.
Yeah, it's
which
fab.
I absolutely loved. And I remember I was texting you at the time, and I was real nerdy, and I was like, oh my god, you have to see what I'm doing. And you were like, probably, what is he going? Just do the website.
No, it's really good. Even when I look into the gift vouchers now, yeah, it's so well done. I love it now, and I wouldn't change it. I have to say, it's amazing.
You're doing amazing things. Do you have anything else you want to say, Cecelia? Do you have any big news coming up?
I have next week. I had the month of July off, so starting back now with all my workshops. Next week I have the women's healing workshop, and then the week after I have the breath work in balanced bodies. So all details are. I just put it up there this morning on Instagram. But anyone can contact me anyway, if they want to ask me any questions. Even leave a message on my phone number. Is 087 240 1182. So yeah, and then just to say that like that, your own energy it comes across so well that you're always doing so much. I don't know how you keep going, and then doing this community
Breathwork.
but then doing this little do you know that what you're doing with getting people together is brilliant. I went to the last one and it was really enjoyable to meet people building their businesses as well. Yeah, thank you.
Very good. And finally, guys, what I'll say one more time before we go, to find Cecelia, it's wellnesswithcecelia.ie. Her number is 087 240 1182, and the email is yogawithcecelia@gmail.com. All these links are going to be in the description of this podcast, so it's going to be very easy for you to find her. Cecelia, it was an absolute pleasure to have you on, and I look forward to having you on again.
Oh, thanks a million, Jason. Likewise. And yeah, talk to you soon. Thank you.
So that wraps up today's episode of the Jason Flood Digital Marketing Show. A huge thank you to Cecelia Moran for sharing her journey and insights into wellness. If you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to follow the show. And also, guys, check out Cecelia's work at wellnesswithcecelia.ie and by her social media links in the description below. Thanks for listening. I'm Jason Flood, and I'll catch you in the next episode.